Is this working? Yes. Hello. Greetings. Better. Been a while. Yeah. Video has to be made, I guess. Once every couple of weeks, almost a month or so. At least to get some thoughts out of my mind. You know, it's the nature of the beast, I would say. Anyways, after all that has happened in the last couple of weeks now, the Sony thing, the Microsoft, there are so many things going on, you know. The whole, we will no longer do discs. Then Microsoft is very silent about that when Sony says something stupid, because they're doing the same thing. We all know that they are planning the same thing. When they are telling you, hey, you can put your disc in your disk drive and then make it a digital version of that discs. Okay, that sounds to me like the fucking same as what Sony is doing, just worded nicely. Okay? Basically, Microsoft has just basically let Sony take the fall and just, we're doing it the nicer way, we're doing it the more around the corner way. And it's scummy either way, okay? It's scummy, it's corporate, there's nothing new here, okay? And everybody's like, oh, everybody will join the PC master race now. And I'm pretty sure they won't, okay? Because I've seen people already complaining that they cannot do that. First of all, price. Because, hey, I cannot afford a 1,000 to 1,500, maybe $2,000 expensive console. How do you think I will then pay for a $3,000 to $5,000 dollar, euro, whatever currency PC? It's the good old stuff between a rock and a hard place. And that's exactly what they are creating here. Just right now it's going around that the Snapdragon chipsets that were made for the VR headset, the Steam Frame, are going up in price in 2 months, or multiple percentages going up, especially now that in a short moment the Steam Frame will probably be announced before the end of the year, because they are already shipped apparently, at least the first batch. It's interesting that this all happens right now. It's almost coordinated, right? Yeah? Or that all of a sudden we have a complete spike on malware on the Steam side with indie games that pop up like literally smallpox out of nowhere. Oh, there's an indie game that is a completely normal game for the first 2-3 months, maybe so. And then all of a sudden it's an update, and then it's malware. And so everybody tries to frame Steam for that. How could they know that a developer, some indie studio, with there are hundreds, hundreds of them, every day, uploading stuff, updating stuff. It's absolutely impossible to control all of this, which they probably will try with AI, because nobody is safe nowadays from that bullshit. But maybe we are already on the topic of indies, because there is so much talk, and everybody already has talking about that this is all a planned thing. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be that Sony and all the other companies who are totally not colluding on this, who are completely not organizing this whole thing, like they always did in the past, always, you can go in the past, I have rented it in multiple videos, other people rented it in multiple videos, we are ranting about this for the last 30 years. It's every time the same play. They create a problem to fuck you, and then bring a solution out to fuck you more. It always what I think is more interesting is, because we are on the topic of indie studios. Have you noticed that all the indie stuff, and I mean real indies, okay, not the we are an indie studio with over 100 programmers and designers backed with multiple millions by more than one company, and we have an exuberant amount of online presence all of a sudden. So not those fake ones, that where now all the big studios go and create those little bubbles with big company backing because they have fucked their own brand so much that they now basically sprouting out like viruses or like cancer and making these new pockets of indie games, which are totally not indie games, because an indie game is a friend and another friend, maybe maximum 4 people or so, creating something in the garage or basement. Not, hey, we have 10 millions to create this game in the next 7 years. Ha, man, we are so indie. Ha, let's go to Starbucks. All of those wannabe wankers who wipe code the shit out of everything because, the AI is so powerful. I don't even know how to read half of this stuff, but AI can program. Just like their whole artist thing. And that's what I think is so interesting right now. When you look at the gaming scene, especially the indies, we all know what sells. We all know what sells because everybody right now is again complaining what is not really selling, and that is ugly boss babe bitches who are annoying as fuck. Let it sleep. Anyways, like they put some ugly character in a new iteration of Halo that they put out that is released in 2 days, and you only get early access right now. But everybody's like, why is this ugly thing here? Which look weirdly enough exactly like Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. Strange, isn't it? But they always do this everywhere. Ugly chicks and annoying chicks, and they're always ugly and annoying. Why? Why are they doing this? This doesn't sell. This breaks even the most competent made game. When you put this in, it doesn't sell. But they have to push it. And the weird thing is, why do the indies do that then? The indies do the same thing. Because every game I see from indie studio is either some kind of simulator where you drive trains, drive big trucks, or a farming simulator like in the good old days on MySpace or Facebook. Okay? Or it's some iteration of a very pixelated piece of shit game from the PS1 era or something like that. It always looks ugly. It's ugly because that's the style we're going. We are done with the retro style, okay? I don't say we need hyper-realistic stuff, but can you do a little bit more artistry? A little bit more design work? And don't tell me you can't, because there is, just in my facility, are so many people who literally do this for fun or half-time side hustle things, who put out all kinds of 3D and 2D artworks for $1 or $2. You could hire those. There are thousands. Not the AI. Oh, I'm an AI artist. Which basically you're a soldier in COD or a model on Instagram. Okay, that failed existence of an asshole. No, I mean actual people who do actual work, safe or not safe for work. Not judging here, quite not. Okay, enjoy it very, very much even. But those people out there. So nowadays you don't even have to work with people in your facility. We have the internet. We have communication possibilities. Okay? We can work remotely with anybody, anywhere, at any time. But nobody uses it. Are people actually this stupid nowadays? This hammered in the brain not using the technology? Are we actually so deep in idiocracy right now that they're just users but not actually developers, or actually people that they're like in the Rick and Morty universe? They can use the portal gun, but they don't know how it works. Apparently, because why are we not having multiple iterations of sexy shooter games with extremely attractive, or at least decently attractive characters, male or female or anything in between? Why don't we have that? The last one, that was a furry game, was this weird like Counter-Strike kind of thing, and I have only seen it once and then it disappeared. I don't know. And the rest is just pixelated graphic, PS1, PS2 graphic, pixelated, simulator. Where are my Tomb Raider ripoffs? Where are my sexy Street Fighter ripoffs? Okay, where am I? Because we were always complaining, especially for the console peasant side, where always they complained that everything is an action adventure with stealth mechanics and RPG elements. Those are completely disappeared. Okay, and not that I say that I want a complete revival of that, but at least some of them would be nice. They are completely gone now. Where are they? Where are the whole what was it, Uncharted kind of games? Where are the RPGs with interesting characters? And I don't mean all the porn games, okay, which are also probably 90% nowadays AI generated. I don't know, but they are all looking generic and boring as fuck. And they're also all the same. Oh, it's a point and click adventure, but it's actually just a shitty animated, mostly AI voiced even nowadays. Okay, slice of life novelization with boring ideas, boring characters. But I mean, actual games. I mean, why can't we not have a very athletic, not boss babe, oh, I'm ripped like Arnold, put the cookie down, I put my cookie down too situation? No, I mean an actual athletic, intellectual, very interesting character. Okay? I mean, you don't have to copy Lara Croft by the T. You don't have to make Francis Drake copy number 9050. Just make an interesting character. It can't be that hard. For example, do you have to make constantly, when we have role-playing games, and there are not many out there, it's always like, how big is the game is the question first. What does that mean, how big the... And this is the discussion that is also multiple decades now old. As soon as we gotten out there, and it's, okay, now we can do it. If the question is always, should you do it? Because a big world doesn't automatically mean an interesting world. I mean, we have now a newer version of the Gothic series, okay, Gothic 1 for example. And everybody likes it, even though it's a very compact, very enclosed role-playing game in a very small, very restricted area. But it's not super small, but this is something that always, okay, can you make an RPG that is basically just a house in that size? And I don't mean, oh, you're playing tiny people like some fantasy world, and you making them crawl through a gigantic house. So the map is again gigantic, but it's only one house, but you are 5 millimeters tall. No. I mean, maybe making not completely one household, but maybe a block. One block in a city. Make it a fantasy city, make it a cyberpunk city, make it something like in Shadowrun where you have everything at once. I'm still confused that nobody picked up. I was so hoping that when Cyberpunk was out, my first idea, how long will it take that CD Projekt? But this was all before they completely fucked themselves into oblivion. My idea was, okay, they know the fantasy part now very well. They know the cyberpunk stories very well. So the next logical conclusion, from my part at least, was, can they make something like Shadowrun, where you have both things combined? It would be the next logical way, I'm always confused that so little is done with content like this. So story and character rich things, okay? Why don't we get something more from the Planescape universe? Okay, universes, sorry. Okay? Where you can mix and match whatever comes to mind. But not in a absolute epic big. You can make the battles epic, but make the room small. So you don't have to filter out everything and make everything a travel of multiple hours. Okay, we go from point A to point B. And nothing happens between it besides some encounters for level ups, like in the Final Fantasy fuck ups. Okay? You're going from B to C to D back to A. Why? Because you need the levels. And then there's a leveling system that is basically just a circle that you go around no matter what you do. And only if you play 1500 hours, it all goes into open mode. And all of a sudden you can do whatever you want until you basically got raped over coals for the entire time. But now it's good. That excuse is disgusting. Okay? Disgusting. But hey, whatever you like. The question is just, why is there not more variants? It's all the same, because it's easy. I know, I get it. Okay? And some of the stuff looks at least somewhat interesting. Again, okay. But why is it all the same stuff? It's always the pixel graphic because we want to hide our laziness. Why is it always all procedurally generated on AI? Because we cannot give some small little artist at least $5 for his artwork. No, we have to. Big companies steal constantly from artists, as we have seen now by Bungie. Not once, not twice, but 5 times now. And why cannot do the indies stuff like this? I mean, we have seen that people can do it. I mean, Studio Foe made an exceptional good multiple areas kind of adventure game. A porn game, yes, but at least the stuff that is story wise is far and beyond everything that we have seen so far. From the indie scene, in general, not just from the porn scene. As far as I have seen it, even from the earliest beginnings, the game runs stable, is playable, and makes fun. Wow, what a concept. Oh, no, we have only one level of play for the next 7 years. We don't continue to do, but please give us Patreon money. They, will you do the work? No. That's the problem with the indie games. They just disappear at one point. Like many others. But hey. And in the middle of this is the end user, especially on the PC side, who has to deal now with all of this bullshit, because as always, the problem starts somewhere else, mostly by the console players. Then it comes to the PC crowd, and they have to unravel and fight all those fights that all those fuckers don't. And don't get me with the whole, oh, no disc, no buy. We have seen that this crowd online is an absolute microcosm. Okay, not only because of the dead internet theory, where in most social media circles, over 50 to 60% is also already AI. That's why all those big companies push for the whole digital ID thing, like Zuckerberg and his multiple hundreds of millions that he put into Europe and American side hustles and side projects, that they are pushing this whole thing onto politics, as we know now, you know, because we have to prove that our stuff is actually seen by human eyes, so we have to have digital ID. We need people to register, because only then can we get more people to buy our advertising. They're going for the same bullshit, basically, what magazines have gone from the early 2000s to 2015. You know, where you go from a magazine that tells you every month or every 2 weeks what's new in tech. Gaming, cameras, cars. And somewhere in between 2006, it completely swapped, where more than half of it is advertising. And always the advertisers who have the most advertising in the magazine get the best ratings, even though we know it's bullshit. Nvidia, I'm looking at you. Yes, I remember all those things. We all remember who are old enough to remember. Man, Nvidia fucked us back in 2006, 2007. It wasn't even funny. Oh, but the graphic card. I've seen people literally celebrating, okay, the GeForce FX. One of the shittiest Nvidia cards. This thing was so shit. Not, oh, it has the greatest performance. What performance? Half of the games didn't work until a year later. It was one of that's why AMD, basically, as AMD bought ATI back in the days, and they shot across Nvidia completely. Not because their cards were much better in terms of performance, but because they are working. The same goes with gaming. Oh, why did so many people in the early 2000s, from 2002 to 2007 around, did piracy come up so fast? Oh, could it be because, just like all the other stuff, when you buy it, it didn't run? Because of all the DRM bullshit and all the CD problems, where they actually had to pull out CD cracks as patches, which they didn't tell anybody until years later, or somebody figured it out, and then there was another bullshit. That's... Everybody forgets this. Now we're in 2026. And everybody like, I don't know what this happened, because nobody remembers apparently. Nobody lived apparently 20 years ago. Nobody has magazines left. Everything on the internet is slowly disappearing, because I can't find most of the old stuff. Because they're always erasing. The internet doesn't forget. But it has a bad time on the memory side, I would say. Because it can only remember what is there. And they are doing a great job erasing all of that history. If there is not some collector that has all the old stuff. And then you have all those hoodweeps who are cheering all of those bad decisions on. Well, everybody is fighting like in those old black and white pirate movies. Extra fake. Just for clicks. I mean, even people I used to watch regularly are now complete and utter clickbait monstrosities. You wouldn't believe what they did. Oh, what's going on? I've heard this. Let's talk about it. And then there's 5 minutes of complete utter. What is there to talk about? You just give us the news, you dumb fuck. Oh no, because I cannot do this in the first 5 minutes because we need the advertising money. Because we have to at least splice 5 ads in. Because otherwise we don't get money. Plus we're getting sponsors. Oh hey, from this 50-minute video, 5 minutes are now for my sponsor, where I get some food delivery service or some shitty vape shite. I mean, even those people who are supposed to be with the crowd are now slowly but surely and very noticeably going the same stairs down like all the other magazines, just like BuzzFeed, just like all the others, just like IGN. They're going down. Oh, a little bit of advertising doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt that we advertise stuff that they can buy from us or with our affiliate links. It doesn't hurt, but it goes slowly downwards. It's sad because I don't see a fun future for us. I mean, really not fun, okay? Which is sad because I was hoping we get at least some kind of cyberpunk material that includes some fun shit, but apparently we're all just getting corporate fucked now from every side, including from those people who are supposed to be helping us. But that's in the future apparently, because when people like I say it, it's always like, this will never happen. The next week it happened. Why did nobody tell us? It's always the same. Yeah. Sad. Sad, but sad. I mean, there was so much clickbait. Oh man, the Steam machine breaks down constantly. Oh, they just did a controller misfunction, which you just have to pull the plug and press the power button 3 times to charge the machine and then pull it back on and it works again. It's like the basics. I mean, most PCs, when you build them, have this period of maybe a week, sometimes a month, where all the things happen. And this is but every build I so far had. When I built it, I repaired others. They always have this, some things don't work perfectly in the beginning, but then it kind of jiggles its way into functioning, you know? And that's the problem what most people have. The same goes with every other operating system. It doesn't work perfectly on this side, and this is unplayable. I only have 61, not 65 frames per second. All those minimalistic, no and nonsense problems that would normally no one cares. Nobody would care if you would actually play, but it's just attention whoring to the max. Okay, and because most of the guys cannot make an OF apparently because they're too old and ugly. Okay. Not that I even support that thing, because I found it funny at the beginning, but now it's getting way more gross because I have so many people in my past who literally gone through this with or without my knowing, and then they're like, oh boy, yeah, now they have a lot of problems, including unemployment. Who would have that? Whoa. Where's that coming from? Of course. Now, it's insane. It's completely insane. However, it tells you what's going wrong, and then do it anyway. Make this any sense? You know, you see something, they tell you, hey, this is going wrong. I'm going the same way. Why? Because I cannot do anything else. Yes, you can. You know? Yes, you can. It's the easiest way, yes, but you can do something different. But I just don't care. The easy money, the possible easy money that is never there, which was certainly enough. And I told everybody that this money isn't there. It's not possible to make money this way, but I do it anyway because it's why? I mean, I know in a couple of years, before this decade is over, okay, in the next 4 to 5 years, everything will look so much different than now. And nobody, and I mean really, nobody, okay, knows actually how it will look. All I can say is, it will not be the best. It will probably not be the worst. There will probably possibilities pop up in the near future. Weird ones that only the weird people will take. Okay? Maybe we get some developer doing some crazy shit, and all of a sudden we can use our old equipment 10 times longer, and everybody will go crazy. You know, it's just like Nintendo goes crazy now about Palworld, for example. Okay, after the release, and all the execution floating around. It only got half of its player base back after the 1.0 release. Yeah, it's still a monument on almost a million back just for an update and new players. And like, they always play down achievements, but completely ignore the problems because the big company must be kissed on their unwashed assholes. You know, we have to lick the booty. We have to kiss it and lick the boob with our tongues clean, even though there's dog shit on it. But we like dog shit. You know, all of those exclusionists that hope that some breadcrumbs fall on their face at one point. And all the fakery, it's insane. And people falling for it, that's more the insane thing. Not 1 second on thinking, is this true, is this false, does this even make sense, why does this even exist? Don't care. It's the whole reactionary thing of something is happening. Quack, quack. And their hand starts picking, even though there is no food. It's insane. It's... I mean, it's a little black-pilled for me, I would say, but I always think, like, at some point it will get better, but not for the people who are actually remembering the old stuff, you know? It's that it gets better for those people who don't think, who don't react, and who don't care. Everybody will be fucked, but those who don't feel their asshole will live the happier life, you know? It's like worshippers of Nurgle. They don't know that they are diseased, rotting corpses shambling around and bits and pieces of them falling off because they feel good. And everybody, they don't understand that everybody's like, ugh, gross, you know? They don't get it because they don't see it. They don't care enough. And they're too brainwashed to actually do anything. Again, very cyberpunky, but sadly enough, again, only the shitty parts. I need to go to bed. Yeah, I should go to bed. Yes, I'm drinking coffee and still go to bed. I can sleep better. You know, it's the whole, oh, you have ADHD. I don't care. I don't care what kind of disease that is now so popular to have. People want to see me in. I don't give a fuck, okay? Maybe I actually need to be in some kind of psycho ward. You know? I just don't give a shit anymore for that. I'm just seeing what it is, and I see sad, dumb, and completely unnecessary things in society right now. And everybody's laughing and making jokes about it. And then there's the whole counterculture that leads to actually nothing. But they all celebrate it as if they found gold. Why? Why do you do that? You only fuck yourself. But hey. Man, where's the button? I have to stop this. Over 30 minutes, that is enough to make people angry and probably not even watch. Cheers, and I hope you have a good weekend until we see us again. And okay, no, not weekend, the weekend is over. The following weekend. If you have work, may it be pleasant. Cheers. What a world.